The economy, media, military, law enforcement, labor employee relations, the education system. You have to corrupt those to get the socialist ethos to eat the United States alive from the inside out. Folks, it's happening right now. Video. Yuri Bezmenov, we played his clips a couple times. He was a KGB defector who talked about exactly this. He lectured on this in the United States, how the Soviet Union understood a long time ago the United States could be effectively destroyed, but only from the inside out. And what you have to do is you need about 15 to 20 years to indoctrinate a generation of U.S. citizens through faulty education to hate their own country and, like a cancer, eat it from the inside out. And he talks about the institutions that need to be corrupted. I haven't played this clip of Bezmenov before. I played Bezmenov, but not this specific clip. Listen to the institutions he talks about, and I'm going to show you how he called it, and it's happening right now. Check this out.
This is the time sufficient to educate one generation of students or children. One generation. One lifetime span of a person, a human being, which is dedicated to study, to shaping up the outlook, ideology, personality. No more, no less. Usually it takes from 15 to 20 years. What it includes? It includes influencing, or by various methods, infiltration, propaganda methods, direct contacts, doesn't really matter. I will describe them later. Of various areas where public opinion is formulated or shaped. Religion, educational system, social life, administration, law enforcement system, military, of course, and labor and employer relations, economy. Okay?
The economy, media, military, law enforcement, labor employee relations, the education system. You have to corrupt those to get the socialist ethos to eat the United States alive from the inside out. Folks, it's happening right now. Now, just for the sake of round numbers, I could do 20 steps, but in the interest of time, because I have a lot to cover today, I want to get to Ron DeSantis thing. Also, some wins we've posted recently, so you should hold your head up, chin up. Some good stuff is happening, too. I want to leave you with a macabre sense that we're collapsing tomorrow. We can still fix this. But I'm going to give you 10 steps to show that what Bezmenov, the KGB defector, predicted, that you have to corrupt the institutions he mentioned, law enforcement, military, education, all of it, are happening right now in front of our face. So I'm going to give you 10 steps to bury the United States. Bury the United States under its own weight of the socialist push from the inside. Here's step one. What would you do? If you were going to destroy the United States on purpose, if you had to, how would you do it for step one? First, you would sow racial discord. Why? Because what better way to get the United States to collapse from the inside out than to get the United States' own citizens to hate one another based on a superficial characteristic like the melanin component of your skin? I mean, seriously, what better way? Country would be at war with the war from the outside. You can create war from the inside. What's the problem? Here you go. Wall Street Journal. Paul Blaustein. Critical race theory has a racism problem. From the idea that white people are congenitally disabled by virtue of being born white to the bigotry of low expectations. Now, folks, CRT is just one symptom of this, but this is it. So racial discord from the inside out. The Russians and the Chinese government, the Communist Party of China, has to love that the Democrats on the left are intentionally destroying America from the inside out by getting us all to hate one another. Step one, sow racial discord. Yes, yes, yes. This is it, Joe. You want a 10-step plan? That's step one every single time.
Bingo.
Well, what would be step two? You want to cancerously rot a country from the inside out? Well, you'd have to debase its currency and engage in redistribution. I mean, what better way to demoralize a population by bankrupting it through inflation, number one, but getting people to believe that the harder they work, the less they'll get? Well, what'll happen then? They won't work as hard. Then what'll happen? Stuff won't get produced. Then what'll happen? People will starve. And then what'll happen? The country implodes from the inside out. Combine that with sowing racial division. You've got a recipe just with these first two steps. I've got 8 more. Just with these first 2 steps to cause internal societal chaos. CNBC headline, producing the receipts, folks. That's what we do. U.S. consumer prices jumped 6.2% in October, the biggest inflation surge in more than 30 years. Remember, inflation is a redistribution scheme, folks. If you work for your money and you thought your money was going to buy you this amount of products, then the government prints more money to give to people that didn't work for those products, and then you have to work harder to buy the same products you already thought you had the money for. That's a redistribution scheme. Keynes talked about this all the time. Inflation is a beautiful way for leftist nuts to tax you without you even knowing about it. Why tax you to take the money? They can just print the money themselves and devalue what you already have. Sow racial discord, debase the currency. 2 steps that are critical to rot a country from the inside out. The Russians and the Chinese have to be celebrating right now. What would be the 3rd step to rot this country, create a mold that eats it alive? Well, you'd want to destroy masculinity and engage in a war on boys, wouldn't you? I mean, folks, our soldiers who fight on the front lines right now, who are in actual combat, are largely men. There are women in the military who serve quite heroically, I might add. But there are men who serve on the front lines firing bullets downrange in the interest of keeping this country safe and secure. So by destroying masculinity and engaging on a war on boys, what better way to keep a country defenseless in the long run? I want you to listen to this quick video, Hat Tip PragerU. This is Christina Hoff, who actually wrote a book called War on Boys. Again, if I was Russia and China, I'd make sure the United States demasculinized its boys and made them feel useless. Here, listen to this 1-minute cut from the PragerU video. This is good stuff.
Being a normal boy is a serious liability in today's classroom. Boys tend to be disorganized and restless. Some have even been known to be noisy and hard to manage. Sound like any boy you know? But increasingly, our schools have little patience for what only a couple of decades ago would have been described as boyishness. As psychologist Michael Thompson has aptly observed, girls' behavior is the gold standard in schools. Boys are treated like defective girls. Now, as a result, these defective girls are not faring well academically. Compared with girls, boys earn lower grades, they win fewer honors, they're far less likely to go to college. Boys are languishing academically while girls are prospering. In an ever more knowledge-based economy, this is not a recipe for a successful society. We need to start thinking about how we can make our grade school classrooms more boy-friendly.
Yes.
That's what I know. I know. Guy said to me, "That's a powerful video." And this is.
Yeah.
I didn't intentionally rank these in importance, and by importance I mean importance to the Chinese Communist Party and the Russians that want to destroy us from the inside out. But they inadvertently, in my thinking of a 10 steps to destroy America approach, if we were to do it, they came out in this order: sow racial discord, debase the currency, destroy the value of what people worked for, and 3rd, destroy the next generation of boys. And yeah, as Michael Anton said, strong men create good times create weak men create bad times then create strong men. I'm hoping we're at the tail end of that cycle and back to the strong men part. I'm praying.
You just heard the Dan Bongino Show.